Oh, Marius, do you have your PinePhone out?
I do.
Excellent. Good. Good, good. Good, good, good. We're
Wanna,
going to do this.
You wanna call me?
No, I can't afford that, actually.
Yeah. Goddamn US.
Mm-hmm. And demonetized. Okay. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna do silence and then we're gonna start and we're gonna be great. Someone said PinePhone. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, the UBports Foundation show discussing the development of Ubuntu Touch and our community's questions. This is episode 75, streamed live on May 9th, 2020. My name is Dalton, and joining me this week are Florian.
Hello.
And Marius.
Shalom.
Hello, hello. Excellent day. Marius is back, everyone. Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
I haven't been gone, but I've been gone Saturdays. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of days, really.
That darn global issue happening.
Down
So
with
inconvenient.
COVID. It is. It is really inconvenient in many ways.
Yeah, it's a little more than inconvenient.
Yeah, so it's more.
All right, we should probably not do this.
It's a pandemic.
We have a great roundup.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
I guess that's the word for it.
We have a great roundup of news not related to that news and questions to get to today. And of course, we have your lovely questions from the live chat. Of course, keep them coming. First question this week: did someone say PinePhone? Yes, someone said PinePhone.
Oh, we have
And-
Martin in here. Hello.
Someone said PinePhone released to manufacturing, which has been done. We have an image, and it's at the factory now.
Whew, that has been a ride.
Yeah, that was a ride for sure.
That's also one of the things that COVID has really made a stressful thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But it's done now.
It's
So
done.
we have the factory image for the PinePhone. My PinePhone is currently running the factory image. So
Mine too.
the factory image has
And
a splash screen. It sounds like a small thing, but I really like doing it. More importantly than that, it has OTA upgrading support. So once you get your PinePhone, all you'll do is take it out of the box, connect it to the internet, and probably update it right away so you can get all the fixes that are going to happen until it actually arrives in your hands. Ship date for the PinePhone, which you can get at pine64.org, is still the end of May. And that's ship date, not arrival date. Expect what... Checkout has your estimated delivery times. Image has calls and SMS support for everyone asking about that. Ooh, there's a splash screen again. Some people are reporting issues with earpiece audio, so we'll need to investigate that before. But we were testing it on the day that we shipped it to the factory, and there were absolutely no problems. Now people are reporting problems. It's a little strange. We need to get that fixed up. And by that, I mean find out what the issue actually is before we do that. But that's a bug, not a feature. Don't worry. Users, everyone who has been trying out the older images and is now upgraded to this will find that they have improved performance. We bumped the memory clock speeds. Turns out we didn't need to stay at 400 megahertz. 500 was just fine. Or was that how it worked? Yeah, I think. It's supposed to be able to do up to 666 megahertz, but
let's do small
A64
steps.
can't handle that. And also, it's 666.
666.
Not a good
also-
number.
It's actually 7, but it's got...
Ooh.
As Mario said, it was quite a ride to get here. So yeah, the first thing you do when you get your PinePhone should be to update it, for sure. You'll be getting a lot of new improvements. The factory is using Martine's factory test image, which has been upgraded to ensure that all of the hardware in your PinePhone is working correctly before they ship it to you and to flash the Ubuntu Touch image. It includes speaker and factory tests, so we know that it's not a hardware problem that speakers and cameras aren't working. It is entirely a software problem. So no worries about that because the camera does work in the factory test image, in case anyone was worried about that. And of course, there's the inevitable questions in the forum of, are there any features that you don't have working on the PinePhone yet that you would like to have working by the time the Community Edition is shipped out? Of course, the factory image now is done, so it doesn't have things that weren't available in the image on Tuesday. That includes Crust, which is the advanced power management firmware for the PinePhone, or for the A64, rather. Which allows more things to be powered off inside the PinePhone and therefore allows longer standby battery times. That isn't available yet in the images. That is definitely something that we want to have before these come out. So the factory image will have worse battery life than the one you upgrade to. Additionally, we'd like to have location support. That was something that we said was going to be working in the original post, so it was really unfortunate that it wasn't working for the factory image. But we hope that we can have that working by the time it arrives in people's hands. Of course, things can change. Please stay tuned to all of our channels and ask us questions if you got questions about the PinePhone, the factory image, or the current state of it that you'll be upgrading to when you get your device. I'd like to be nothing but open about that. Let's see. That's the PinePhone. You can get your very own PinePhone over at pine64.org. $150, $10 of that goes to the UBports Foundation. And we're very thankful for everyone who has decided to pick up a PinePhone in this batch so that it supports us. And, you know, if you don't like us for some reason, there will be more community editions. So you can get other people's logos and pre-installed operating systems in the future. This is just the first one.
That's maybe a valid question from people listening now. If they try to order it now, first of all, is ordering still open? Then, because we said that will be a batch, will this be a continuous batch run? Are they going to make a pause? Do we know anything about that? Because I don't.
So the plans are still to have separate community editions for different communities. So at this point, the hardware shouldn't change, but the logo on the back and the pre-installed operating system will change in future releases of the PinePhone. The Community Edition is a limited edition run. This is it. And then it's someone else's turn to go next.
Okay, so that's what I want to point out. We might not be on a continuous Community Edition for UBports at this time, because other communities also want to get their share.
Yeah, there is a limited
But yeah,
So
if you don't mind, you could buy another community edition. Then they get support, and then you can just sneaky flash you Ubuntu Touch on it. I mean, it can happen. Eh?
What you also
And they get the money, and you get Ubuntu Touch.
Yes.
We should probably stop now. This doesn't sound very good at all.
or you can just donate to us. Just do that.
Yes.
Or them.
Or them. Or
Or
all of
them.
us. All of us.
All of us.
At once.
Yeah.
This isn't sounding entitled yet, maybe. Yeah, future batches will include other hardware. Not other software. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the PinePhone. The PinePhone is great. Everyone loves the PinePhone. Someone said PinePhone. Here it is. It's the PinePhone.
I have many of those. Too many.
I have 2 of them. It's very nice.
I have 3.
Oh my God.
Oh, you do.
Now people will say, why, my PinePhone still didn't arrive and you got 3 of them. That's not fair.
Developer batches. Also, stay tuned. I'm going to show this real quick, but you all have to stay tuned for updates on it. Okay. Yep.
So
No one saw that? All right, stay tuned for updates on that.
here's all
Now-
the different ones.
All the different ones that...
This one is the development one. You can see the screen is a little bit gray. This is the Braveheart, and this is the final community edition.
The fine phone.
The
Final phone.
The final
3 Pine phones? Yeah.
free PinePhone.
In
Oh
other
my God.
good news this week, though, Ubuntu
Oh,
Touch
yeah.
OTA 12 is set to release on Wednesday. It was set to release on Wednesday, that being Wednesday the 6th, but its release date was pushed to Wednesday the 13th of May 2020 for a critical issue that Rachanan fixed up. Good work, Rachanan. Thank you for everyone who's helped test and the people who raised that issue to us. It's very good that we got that fixed before release. And unless something extremely severe is found now, this update is better than OTA 11, which is what matters when we are releasing it. I'm not pretending that there will be absolutely no issues with this update, but it is better than OTA 11 in almost every way.
I would say, well, my opinion might be biased, but but I would say this is probably one of the best release we have done in terms of stability and performance. And that might sound counterintuitive. After all, we did this is a huge update with a lot of components changed, but I feel like there is less crashing. There's no crashing. I haven't had a single crashing on my daily driver. So the only time it actually shut down it's when I forget to charge it. Else than that, it's yeah. But as I say, my opinion is biased. Well, so try it out yourself and see.
So try it out yourself. Get your OTA 12 today. You can download the release candidate right now by switching channels. Or you can wait until Wednesday. That's fine too.
That's what I wanted to say. We released another RC yesterday. It was out of band, more or less. So in case anybody wondered why there was an RC, yeah, that was because of the critical fix we wanted to get tested. So still there is a small window of opportunity for testing it on the RC channel before we release on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. In case somebody wants to know how he can test the latest version. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, this update brings Unity 8. I'm calling it 8.20. I'm not sure if that's the right name anymore. But it was the last version that Canonical made before they dropped the project. And Mirror 1.2, which released in 2019. Mirror 1.8, which was released last month, should be a little bit easier to upgrade to. Which, of course, brings the app drawer as a stark contrast to the old dash and home screen. That's probably going to be the thing that everyone notices, everyone is talking about. I just want to say, give it a try. Try it out for a couple of weeks. Every time I go back to the old, like if I reinstall OTA 11 now, I just get really frustrated with how it works. So I do think that the new way is better than the old way. That's not to say it's perfect, just that I like it a lot more. There's still improvements to be made in the drawer, no doubt.
I think what you said there is critical, is that even though it's not perfect and it can be improved, instead of throwing it away and not trying something or going the new way, we can do this and then improve it over time to something that is truly amazing. Right now it's amazing, but it's not truly amazing.
Good point. Well made.
Good point. Big brain.
There are also newer, more contrasting colors all the way across the OS. Thank you, Joanne. He's been working really hard to work on getting everything to be the correct colors, for lack of a better term, and just generally improving the user experience, especially for people who might not have as great a sight. There are updates to the keyboard editing overlay, so now you can access it from all layouts by swiping up from the bottom of the screen. You don't just need to press and hold on the spacebar anymore. And double tapping switches modes instead of just going into selection mode and not being able to leave it. All good things. Of course, couldn't be an Ubuntu Touch update without an update to Morph browser. Web apps are now able to download files, and there are better privacy options and fixed privacy options from before, including deleting cookies. I know, it's 2020. It's surprising it wasn't there yet, but it's there now. And a nice wild card. Devices which have multicolor LEDs now show their charging state, so you can know if your phone is about to die because it's flashing orange at you. It really is nice. Florian, you are muted.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to say that's really helpful. It already saved me twice from running out of battery because what is blinking orange on my table? Oh, it's the phone. Run! So yeah, I love this function. Yeah.
It is. I love how simple the function is. Like it's just a LED, but it's so useful. I love it. It's like, it's also telling me that the device is done charging when it's green and stuff, and then I can plug it up. It's like, why do I like this so much? It's an LED, but I do like it.
It's the small things that matter.
It's the small things.
There's also one thing that we have unblocked a few of the translations that were stuck in limbo more or less for a long time, and we didn't notice. So we fixed the build for a few components like system settings. Also Unity 8 got a translation update. So basically it should get more and more consistent with the translations that the people have provided. And yeah, that's a lead. And hopefully you get a better experience with that. Anyway, we are still in the process of adapting translation stuff, as we already talked about a few Q&As before. We are still looking for volunteers to complete the translations that are not at 100%, and also some people who like to get hands on the translation system itself. That is a good mixture of the usual gettext things with PoEdit and stuff, plus Canonical's language packs that also need some attention. So if anybody feels inclined, drop us a note. I want to code on translations. We are more than welcome.
All right. Excellent. Now, Florian, I believe that you may have posted a small survey that a few people took.
Yes, actually, I just felt in the mood to a little bit get a feedback because there is so much buzz going on in Porting Channel about new Android 9 compatible devices and Helium 9 and when this or that and round edges on the phone and does the phone have a notch and what we do with the notch. And I wanted to know what is really important for the people for a typical phone. So I posted a survey and not less than 250 people answered. 250 answers is quite a lot for a community of our size. So I call this more or less significant. I'm not a statistics guy. I'm not calculating confidence and other things, but I think 250 people gives a good average of what the people think is important. So I didn't prepare any slides. I'm just looking this up from the summary here, but I might post something in the forum with nice charts so you can take a look yourself. If I go from the things that matter most for people in terms of how they use the mobile phone, the number one is calling people via ordinary phone functions, like ordinary SIM card inserted, and you use your phone as a phone. And guess what? I was not sure about that because a lot of people told me in the last 2 or 3 years when I got into that with Ubuntu Touch that calling landline or calling other mobile phones via ordinary phone numbers is a thing of the past. We don't do this anymore. We are having messengers, we're texting, we're doing stuff with that. Yeah, we want to have, kind of internet telephony with, Skype-like things, Jitsi, whatever. And actually, the survey tells me the difference. So it's still very, very important for people to have an ordinary phone number and to ordinary calls. The number 2, browsing the web, searching, reading, shopping, etc. So people want to obviously have a strong browser on board, and that's why we are so proud of having the Morph browser here, because while there are still things to be improved, we know we are totally independent of other developments and can shape it as we want and according to what the people need. The number 3, okay, brace yourself, it's navigation. Yeah. So it was also kind of interesting to me that so many people use the phone for navigation, but on the other hand, it's also clear. If you have a nice device in your hands that has a GPS inside, why you won't use it for navigation, maps and stuff. Number 4 is working with emails. Number 5, photography. Yeah, I'm going over the email part quite a bit because we know that we need to put some work into Deco, but this will also happen. And based on the answers of this survey, I want to encourage people from the community to see, okay, look, these are the needs of the users. Let's do something for the top things where we know we have some things to improve. Number 5, photography. That's also quite interesting. I'm not a big photographer with my phone. I'm taking maybe 1 picture per week.
No, Mr.
Max.
DSLR.
Yes, I have other tools here that I like to play with for photography.
Shows up to Fosdem with this giant camera lens. Oh, I see you're a photographer for the weekend.
Yeah, well, this year I didn't take the big one. It was only the small one, and it makes crap pictures, unfortunately, but it's okay. And then there come random things: listening to music, calendar contacts, calling people via Messenger is somewhere in the first third, video recording, and at the very end actually are things like playing games, fitness tracker, and software development. So yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. The second question was then a more detailed list of features that a phone should have. And I want to use it to make our feature list for the community ports. So when we're going to accept the phone as a community port, it should have certain level of features working. And with that query, with that survey, I want to get ideas, what are the most important features, so that we can say this is a community port, it's supported by us with a channel and with updates and so on, but this and this and this might not work. It's no wonder that it matches a bit with the other question. The top 1 priority for a port is actually Wi-Fi. Yeah? So people think probably they wouldn't need cellular data connection, which is on place 3, but number 1 is Wi-Fi. And incoming cellular calls is number 2. Then on place 4, also interesting, is cellular SMS in and out. It was not MMS.
Stuff is more popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then number 5 already camera photo, and then comes sound and GPS and stuff. The least
that seems
important...
a little bit in contrast to the first question.
Yeah. It's yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, so we're not statisticians, of course, and maybe demographic information would have been interesting in the survey, but
I wanted to keep it.
That's fine.
I wanted to keep it a little bit low on this data. For this one, it was a first experiment with such surveys, but it's encouraging that if people are willing to give us more of their insights and feelings about what we do and what they would expect. So maybe we do other surveys in the future. Yeah. I did a little,
but actually ask a statistician to help. yeah,
probably. But the last thing was just to mention this briefly. I also asked, what is the current situation with the people? Do they have a device, or where did you get it? Most of them bought an original Ubuntu Touch device from Canonical Times. On second place is I have ordered a PinePhone, Vola or Librem 5 phone, and on third place is actually Ubuntu Touch fulfills my needs for a daily driver already. That's very nice. Thank you, people. That's actually nearly 40% of people ticked that one. Unfortunately, and that's bad news for the people that are on the porting front, I would pay someone for actually not porting, but also supporting in the community. I would pay someone for flashing a device with Ubuntu Touch. So almost no one would give somebody else kind of a tip or, let's say, a little bit of encouragement that he helps him with getting Ubuntu Touch on his phone. And I think we can improve here a bit, because it could be a nice motivation for people to help others. They are struggling with installing on, I don't know, something Android-based, I don't know, 1+2, 1+3, whatsoever. And it could be kind of a service, at least if you can meet with these people. Okay, here's my phone, please install Ubuntu Touch. There you go with $10 or something like that. That was my idea. So either the question was not put in the right way, or the people are really reluctant to giving somebody...
Or it's just not needed, yeah.
Yeah, or it's just not needed. So, yeah, that one didn't work out as I was expecting, but the rest was very interesting. And luckily, nobody needs Volta support. Only 5% of people wanted Volta, so yeah.
But it's it can also be unclear what that means, because voice calls need Volta in some places. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Yeah.
No, the question was actually, I need Volta support since all my carriers require the technology. So I made it a little bit more detailed. But yeah, I know Volta is still a thing that we need to work on, but luckily
Voiceover
most people
LT.
have access. Yeah. Luckily, most people have access to carriers that use normal GSM, UMTS and stuff. Okay. That was my part of this Q&A. Whew.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm sure that there will be people shouting in the comments about how unscientific we are, but
Yes.
it was
But doesn't
a
matter.
good pilot. So thank you for putting the time into it, Florian.
You're welcome. Thanks everyone for taking part. And next time, please be motivated again.
Next
When
time
we
we
come
will
up with new questions.
next time on the next survey we will have a 1 hour read of the next survey.
All right. Well, while we're thanking people, let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors over at ubports.com/sponsors, including our infrastructure sponsors. How many times can I say sponsors in one sentence? Smooze, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, and Packet.net. Thank you all for making it possible for us to build Ubuntu Touch with the power of computers, stuff like that. And also thank you to everyone else who is supporting Ubuntu Touch via PayPal or Patreon or direct SEPA bank wire transactions now. Thank you to everyone who started to do that. And especially to our community sponsors on Patreon. A. Thiel, George Toma, Guido Hornig, James H. Jackson Jr., Lauren Jean Tillman, Mark Johnston, Jax Fielder, Michael Dalemeyer, Milan Ilev, Renat Mirkalev, and Thoralf Sun. If you'd like me to mispronounce your name as well, you can head over to patreon.com/UBports and choose the community sponsor option during checkout. And truly, truly thank you everyone who is making it possible for us to make Ubuntu Touch. It's nice. I'm employed full-time by the project, as is Marius, and it really helps that people are showing their support. And of course, to the people who are ordering PinePhones or porting Ubuntu Touch or contributing however they do it, thank you to everyone. If you'd like to donate monetarily to UBports, you can head over to ubports.com/donate to find all the options there. Or still ubports.com/blog to find information about our SEPA and bank wire transactions, which are ways to donate directly to the foundation tax deductibly. Thank you. All right. Let's handle some questions. We take these questions every fortnight from our forum at forums.ubports.com. The topic for asking questions comes up about at the start of every week. And questions which we think are answered by our news section or questions which are better answered directly on the forum, we might not take live, but you do get in first if the question is appropriate for live. Starting off this week, Christoph14 wrote a bit of a book about posting an FAQ on the forum rather than on the website with questions like, what is OTA 11 versus OTA 12? And how do I report a bug? And what are release candidate and stable and devil? What's a Xennial? Things like that. Because, of course, these questions do get asked a lot. And the search features in the forum are fine, but people sometimes don't find what they're looking for and ask the question again. That does make a lot of sense. Of course, we have the FAQ on our website at ubports.com, but at this point, it is getting a little bit out of date. I might try to solve a lot of problems with Read the Docs and our documentation over at docs.ubports.com, but personally, I think that would be a pretty good place for that kind of thing. It's a place where anyone can contribute to it and make pull requests or just edit it online with GitHub. So I think that's the best place for that kind of thing to go and be answered, including if it just has links to other pages in the documentation. Because the forum, while nice, posts can only be edited by one person. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Florian, do you have any ideas on a FAQ?
Um, I mean, the only thing that might keep people a little bit away from the read the docs is the format of the documentation. So you have to learn quite a little bit on how you actually do the RSD thing. But yeah, other than that, I would also say we might just make kind of a chapter there to say, okay, this is our Q&A chapter, and Dalton goes now into Blur, and here's back. So maybe we just open, maybe we make the preparation structure and say, okay, kind of a question and answer section, and then really if something comes up, we should encourage people to contribute via pull requests and GitHub, because that's our native way how contributions go into our code base also. And first of all, it doesn't hurt to learn a little bit about Git and how to do this stuff. And secondly, it's revisioned. It's for us really easy to track. Also, if you allow free editing, that's something that can go bad. We noticed this on the pads that we had. So that people started deleting random content or putting in other random content. Somebody might have just put his whole clipboard in. I don't know, it could be. So we don't want to have something that is totally without barrier and approval. But on the other hand, it should be very flexible. So I think it's a natural way to go via a revisioning system like Git, version control. But then just the only purpose is that somebody reviews and accepts it, and then we merge it in. So yeah, let's make the structure for that on our docs. Why not? We don't want to have another URL that has a different name. It's on a different system, and we have a lot of systems already. We should try to streamline the things as much as possible to keep the things simple also, yeah. So it's a good suggestion, I think, yeah.
Yeah. If people aren't comfortable with contributing to the documentation, of course, you can always just write the document as a text file or whatever and send it my way, or however you want to do that, and we can add it to the documentation for you. So
sure.
If that does seem like a barrier to you, I'm perfectly happy with working with you on that. If you've got the stuff written, I'd like to see it. And so would the entire community. So
I mean, it's restructured text. It's just a thing that has a special format like Markdown, like other wiki things. And on top, you need a little bit to be careful with embedding links and stuff, but everything works. So yeah, we can give a hand with that. We would be very happy to receive at least kind of a text document that has maybe some questions and answers inside, and we do the rest. Yeah, that would be great. So Christoph, please send us your first question and an answer that you came up with, and we put it in for you.
Yeah, that'd work. Or anyone else who's watching and has questions that they answer frequently and don't want to anymore.
Yeah, if you're getting bored by answering all the questions again on the supergroup, then that's for you also, yeah. And then you can just drop the link always. Here's the link, here's the link, here's the link to the questions and answers.
But don't be like, read the manual, because those people are jerks. You can say it nicely, even if the meaning is just read the manual. Ebet Tunro asks, Dalton, when will you push Marius enough to get the 1+5T image working? Given the fact that Marius is being pushed enough, I think that we can push someone else for that. There are community porters who are working on OnePlus devices. And if you've got one, hey, a lot of the people who are working on porting right now never touched a line of code in their life. So
I do believe
we'd love to see you trying it out.
I do believe Wins has some really early working progress on that. I think it actually boots fine and everything.
But Vince is also busy. So,
yeah, I know, but it's a starting point if someone wants to continue or help out, something like that.
Yeah,
it's what I meant.
Yeah, it's not going to happen just asking me to push Marius, because I already pushed Marius enough, and if I push him more, he might just fall off the edge, and no one wants that.
No,
that'd be bad.
We don't want to have that again. Falling him into the sea, the fishes, sploosh.
Yeah.
Ice.
And also...
Oh, yeah, it is cold in Norway, so there would be ice. That wouldn't be good.
Well, no, it's not that cold.
We don't want to push him off the fjord.
But it's also kind of the worst time ever with COVID coming around, and I have less time than I had before. So
Even than usual. It's fine.
so
Don't worry.
I
Don't
might.
worry. I just had to read the question word for word.
Well, you have PinePhone. You have PinePhone. Is that
Yeah,
Yeah.
the PinePhone.
yeah PinePhone?
That was a lot of work.
And
I'm glad
Volaphone.
I'm glad
Wolaphone.
Volaphone.
Volaphone.
And we also have
Volaphone's being worked on by Nikita, and Nikita is awesome, so I have no doubts that it will be awesome when it releases.
yes, Nakiti is awesome.
But of course, he would be the one to ask. Well, no, maybe
Don't ask. Just wait.
don't bug him. He does a lot of work, and he's on Telegram a lot. So if you bug him, he probably will see it and get distracted.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy, and yeah, that's
Let the
so
porters
it's easy
sport.
to distract.
Let the porters.
Let the porters sport.
I feel like that. Everyone should start doing what I do, is just start cutting down on Telegram messages, just because there's too much, and then focus on
Just close Telegram for a while.
yeah, and then focus on working. When you are opening Telegram, just go through Telegram and have Telegram open so people can message you if there is something necessary, and if it's not something necessary, you postpone it and do it later.
Also,
Yeah.
what's very helpful for me is the new group features of Telegram. Unfortunately, it's not yet in teleports because we are missing upstream support for that. But you can group the chats now, and it really helps me to keep focused on what I'm looking for. And I have a UBports group and unrelated off-topic things, and so I don't even look into that group if it's not really time. So if you have more than 200 chats, like most of us do, maybe, I don't know, then this is the thing to go. Group yourself. Yeah.
I have.
See,
way
I
too
just
much.
try to quit Telegram, but I have like muscle memory where I hit super and just type Tele. And I don't know why. I just do it. Like, I'll just be programming, and all of a sudden just super Tele. Why am I opening Telegram?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing you also can do, which I do sometimes, is just to have teleports on your phone and then not have it on desktop, and just open it on desktop when you see an interesting notification on your phone.
I've considered that, but then I need to like what I need to do basically is hide it from the app launcher so that I can't launch it easily.
Just delete
There
it.
is something wrong with it.
Just delete it.
Just delete it.
Oh.
And then install it when you need it.
Maybe there isn't something wrong with me. Maybe that's. Do other people have that problem?
I do.
Does anyone else just randomly open their chat apps?
But
I
I
don't want to.
No.
The thing is, I usually do this with VS Codium, because I'm so used to opening it. So I'm opening it all the time, and then I open a new window, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same behavior as like you are searching for your phone when you are talking to someone on the phone. Like, it's this weird human behaviors which just happens to everyone for some reason.
I need it.
It's like, where is my phone? And then you're talking on the phone. It's like, Okay, next
I
question.
feel like you've been having a hard day, Marius.
I've been having some hard days with COVID, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, haven't we all?
All right. Yeah.
All right. Next
Up
one.
next.
That's again Christoph 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also wants to know what is the next big challenge after this one. And this one means the Mir plus Unity 8 Lomiri stuff migration, OTR 12.
So
Is it 2004? Is it
24.
64-bit support? Actually, it's not 64-bit support. 64-bit support wasn't all that hard. It's just
but
people need to recompile their apps now.
it was really hard, Dalton. Don't sugarcoat
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Don't sugarcoat it. But it's 64-bit support has actually done, and guess what? This is running 64-bit. So that work is actually done.
That's the PinePhone.
That's the PinePhone. But I think location D.
It wasn't that easy. I lied.
I think location D and 2004. 2004 will be a massive one, like insanely massive one.
Yeah.
Location D will be big, but compared to 64, it's not. And then we have other stuff coming up, and then we have newer Android support. We have a lot, I think.
And some of these things are happening in parallel, so it's getting kind of hard to keep it all in your mind at once. And yeah.
We need more
But of course,
developers.
More developers, yes, of course, from all the different program languages, because it Canonical was so nice to spread all over the place, different languages. So we need Go, Python.
Vala.
Do we have Ruby on Rails as well? No, I don't think
we
so.
don't.
We don't have any Ruby. No Ruby.
C++, come to us, yeah. But we don't need so much Java devs. Unfortunately, I have
Sprinkle with Go.
to disappoint. Yeah, sprinkle with Go. A little bit of shell scripting cannot hurt. And QML would be great. Cute professionals, where are you?
I wish Canonical would just, when they started a phone project and every new library they just kept it cute and just going the cute way as they did with everything else. But no, let's make some in glib, let's make some in Vala, let's make some in glibc, some with
They
Boost.
had their reasons. It's just, in hindsight, it seems a little weird. But
Yeah.
when they were going the way they were, it makes a little bit
It
more
makes
sense.
sense, but it doesn't make sense if they were they weren't expecting someone to fork it. I think that's the problem.
No. And they were expecting that everyone was going to use this software, right? They were expecting that everyone was going to use Ubuntu Location Service, so it's not a cute library, it's a boost library. And I say that instead of C++ because both of them are basically different languages.
Yeah.
And
On
the
top of
Vala
C++.
indicators. Vala is a language that I didn't know that it existed until I found out about it in Ubuntu Touch. It's also something
Flick
for
is
me.
also Vala.
I mean,
what were we talking about?
I'm 25 years into IT and I didn't know about Vala, but okay, that's off topic more or less. So the next big challenge, yes, we will have a roadmap for OTA 13, of course. No, the roadmap is not there yet. Yes, we will tell you by time when there it is.
So
I mean,
OTA 13, if you want to talk about OTA 13 itself, is going to be an update of merging things and whatever Marius wants to fix up right now.
Let's say kind of a small
otherwise, it's
repair
more
thing. Maintenance.
PinePhone hardware compatibility. We're both talking, I'm sorry.
And Android 8. 8, 9, 10.
There's just a lot.
8, 9, or 10, whatever it does.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
It just feels like there's so many things happening that's like, what do I say when we say we're going to work on something? Because we're probably going to work on all of it at least once.
But OTA 13, we should try to, or we probably will have it a little bit shorter after OTA 12, not a big gap between 11 and 12 that we
I
had.
mean, given it's been 6 months, anything shorter than that will seem like a very fast update.
Yes, that's a good thing for us. We are finally back to our pace of updates. Not to wait 6 months for it. Good.
Boy, I sure am good at release management. Florian, you want to take that job forever?
I can be release manager if that's something that I can relieve you from. It's okay. I can push the button. Yeah, it's not that hard.
Boop.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
It's more so the asking people about things that's hard.
I don't think the release manager is the problem. It's just a lot to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
you need to be in the mood of bugging people to test. Actually, that's something that's still hard. However, I've connected with a guy from the German community who is actually a professional tester. And with this guy, I'm hoping that we can finally find a way to get testing more structured, plus motivate the people to do the right things, test the right things. So yeah, that would be great.
Cool.
And by the way, if there are any professional or amateur testers out there that haven't joined our QA channel, do it now. Yeah.
At UBports_QA on Telegram.
I just want to respond to Martin. Martin.
Martine.
Sure.
Martine.
Yes.
Sorry if I butchered your name. But
We do have
how much PHP is in UBports? Absolutely 0. I'm so happy for
Yeah.
that.
And that's why it's so good.
That's why it's so good. That's why it's so good. And also, I just to respond to the next one, the Ratchet and Clank is update you cute. No, you.
Both are important. Yeah. Yeah, there are plenty of things to do, plenty of testing to do. And we appreciate everyone who's been working with us and those who have been patient with us. There are 99, 100 pull requests that are were filed during the OTA 12 cycle that are not merged and not reviewed. I am sorry, but there's a lot to do.
We'll start today with the first 20 or 30, huh? Right after the show.
Oh
Tomorrow
yeah.
everything is
Right
merged.
after the show, I'll go and merge 30 pull requests. We're in release freeze. Don't forget, Florian.
Update Qt. Update Qt.
Yeah. But you could branch everything away into temporary branches and then stash it back when the release is gone, and silos and stuff.
See,
you know.
we've committed a lot of bad things getting the PinePhone to release to manufacturing. So let's not do more of that. Let's fix that before we do more. Thank you.
Yes. So,
well,
OTA 13, maintenance release, fix the things. Yes.
This is the thing with making
Breathe.
RTM images, is that we made a lot of hacks. And I know Canonical did this back in the day too.
Yes, we can look at the code and see exactly when this happened for Canonical, and we were like, we're not going to be like them, and then we were exactly like them.
Yeah, but deadlines.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
Well, we will fix it,
Good.
but not now.
There is another question. Did somebody say
Yes.
PinePhone?
Ratchet and Clanic asks, how much more battery can we expect Crust, that is the advanced power management firmware, for the PinePhone,
Oh boy.
to give the PinePhone?
So, I have done some experiments and some math on this exact subject. So, based on my calculations, in my optimistic view of actually reaching... so, if you have your device sleeping most of the time, and you use it about 1 hour a day, you can expect with a highly optimized Crust and with the modem going into fast dormancy, which is the power saving mode of
Sleep.
No, it's not sleep. It's a state where it uses lower frequency to connect with the modem. To connect with
The modem talks less and uses less battery because of it.
Yeah, easier said. It uses less battery, but is still connected, so it can receive notifications and yada yada yada. Calls and data and all that. But it hugely improves the battery time. With this mode and everything implemented correctly in Crust, we might look at around 24 hours plus. But then we need to highly optimize Crust, and I think it's already at a good road. I have already gotten like 13 hours of it with the modem not in sleeping at all. But that varies on how close you are to the tower and yada yada yada. Because if you're further away, your phone uses more power to to be connected to the cellular tower. So there's a lot of factors playing in here. But I hope and I want to get to at least 24 hours with minimal use. And then, of course, it will depend on how much you actually use the phone. But if we get to 24 hours, I think that's on par with, or on par, maybe a little bit less than some Android phones, or more than some Android phones in some cases.
Mm-hmm. But you said that in your tests already, you've maxed out at 13.
Yes, but that's without some of the implementations in Crust.
Right. Yeah, I get it. It's just what you have gotten
Currently,
right
yes.
now.
Right now.
Like what, yeah. Not what is expected, but what has actually happened.
Yes, I have gotten that. And that was with modem and Wi-Fi connected and everything, Bluetooth even over. So
okay.
So
that's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not what we want, but it's not bad.
It's not good, it's not bad.
The factory image, as I said earlier, does not have those improvements, so you're not going to see that kind of battery life out of the factory image. You're going to see like an hour of screen on time, and that's going to be about petering out, which is bad. And we recognize that.
Well, we have like
but
6 hours with the screen off, I think, right now.
Yeah. Yep. Which
Bad.
is going to improve.
It's really bad.
And
But
we're going to be honest with you about that.
yeah, so that's really bad. But what we hope to do is to have an update ready with Crust and GPS. Like no promises, but we hope to get this updated ready. So when you get the phone, you can update immediately and get all this cool stuff like 24 hours battery time and all that. No, 12 hours at least. But we have some bugs that needs to be fixed. And one in particular is that the modem needs to. The modem tells the phone before the phone has fully waken up when there is a signal coming. So you won't get the notification that there is an incoming call, for example. It wakes the phone up correctly and everything, but it's just that missing piece. Like teleports and normal notifications work absolutely fine, but it's just the modem part that is missing. That makes us keep it out.
And you're holding back the entire bout of those changes until that's fixed,
Yes,
right?
because
So those bugs aren't in the image because they haven't been added to the image yet. Those bugs haven't been added yet.
No. And the reason for not adding those images is because they will make you lose calls and lose calls basically, which is really bad. So it's a trade-off of battery time versus incoming call. And of course we want incoming calls to working, and then we fix battery time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Otherwise, there's lots of people who are helping us out testing on the PinePhone and helping development. I mean, I mentioned Martine earlier. He's a post-market OS dev who was a huge help for release to manufacturing. Just absolutely can't thank everyone who's been involved enough on the project. But yeah, that answers your question directly, I hope. And we want to make it better for the future. Again, huge thank you to everyone who's helped us work on the PinePhone project. It has truly been, everyone has come together to make this device work in a way that I have not seen before, which has been really amazing.
Yeah, I also have to give a huge shout out to the post-market OS guys and the KDE guys, especially to Martin, Luca, and Bushan and Pure Tryout. I don't remember your first name. Sorry.
There's so many people. There's Anersol too.
Anersol,
and all the Lima developers. Like, we couldn't even be on the screen if it wasn't for Lima. All right, I don't think we want to do this again because we do this like every time where we just start thanking people at the end.
But yeah, especially my a lot of stuff comes out to. I said this before, and after FOSDEM, made really realized how tightly together the Linux community is where, like, you would never believe, but we had lunch with the Postmarket and KDE guys, and it's amazing. I know it doesn't sound like much, but we did have lunch with them. And we played games with the Postmarket OS. We played Exploding Kittens. But yeah.
Yep, we sure did.
We sure did, and we lost.
All right. Anyone see anything else they want to take in from chat before we get too sappy on everyone?
I want to say what Alfred is saying is that there are some private improvements coming to Lima. I think that's already in our kernel, and that also will help with Crust. So yeah.
GPU use less power, more good. Yeah.